Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, and it looks like there's a little bit more violence there. Oh, what a surprise, it's Ashby. Although they have decided to knock it on the head there after some forceful persuasion. Anyway, in the previous episode, we got some more construction done up here. As you can see, the cells on the bottom are done, and the top ones are either done or planned. Also, similarly for the execution area. So we're going to max speed this out. What we want to do is wait for that to be completed. I want to go ahead and place some workbenches in the yard because, well, we haven't got any, and it would be decent if we actually did have some. So let's just have a quick go around with this one. How many do we want in each one? I think 3 in each side should be perfectly fine, and I keep pressing the wrong button for some reason. There we go. Danger levels flying up. It always is, well, disposed to that after there's a bit of violence, especially when it comes to the leaders. Anyway, so we'll put these benches in. Actually, do I want to put them right on the edge? I think previously we had them a bit closer, but it matters not. Always best to build them like that because then you can get at least some semblance of order. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. That's fine. Rotate these around and do the other side as well. Now, obviously, we are going to have to get this done in the other place down the bottom. Basically, we'll have to do this another twice, but I can probably get away with the clone tool because I believe the clone tool... Ooh. The clone tool can wait. That is a 47 prisoner riot. This is becoming an issue. Let's go over to needs, and we can see that there's a huge hygiene and food need. Okay, well, for a start, we have to stop this riot, which is going to be a problem. I'm going to go and find the probable cause of this one, the leaders. They're not there, and they're not in here. So why are these booting off? Well, they're booting off because he's in there. Right, that's the main reason, and... let's sort that out. Let's end the punishment. That should hopefully drastically reduce that thing. In terms of the riot over here, though, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I'm going to go ahead and call in some emergencies already. 1, 2, 3 riot police and 2 paramedics. Because, yeah, this is a problem. They're smashing absolutely everything up, and... I don't think they're taking anybody out. No, it's just a bit of violence. The difficulty is that there's two of them here, so even though I've stopped those, why is this still at that height? Serious complaints. Is it just because of the food and hygiene needs? I think it might be. There's food and hygiene there, and I don't know why it's critical. It's currently shower time. They were already on the way to fulfill those needs. Oh, well, there you go then. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll get some of these positioned about the place. I've ordered a couple of these, and I don't know where the other ones are. Oh, there they are. They came previously. So I've got 2 sets going to the medium risk area, or the normal risk cell block, and in terms of the other one, I've just got the 1, just because I don't think we need that many there. So I'm going to send paramedics, 1 top, 1 bottom, and then the other ones, you can see we've got them going to here. So we'll max speed that out. Most of the low risk ones have sort of knocked it on the head. I'm guessing the majority of them will knock it on the head in the medium area here. This is strange. I'm ordering them to move, but they're not moving. They're just not going. They're not doing anything. Why are they not moving? I'm literally ordering that guy to go back over, and they're doing none of it. In fact, they're standing there, getting hit. And it doesn't... oh no, they are animating. They are hitting back by the look of it. Why are those just standing in the middle, though? Oh, now they're moving. Interesting. Anyway, for whatever reason, they weren't moving at all. Is it because we had... maybe because we had the guard selected as well. And the guard cannot be ordered to go inside of these areas. Oh no, but they are doing it now. And so the guard can't be ordered to go in there, so you cannot enter riot area. And I'm guessing that's exactly what happened with these. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll flush into both sides here. Like that. You can see where they're not going to go. They are taking out these around there. We're just going to take up guard around the entrances, really. and slowly move in. We do obviously have people running around with tasers and with keys and apparently with no clothes on whatsoever, which is not great in terms of armour. But yeah, we're slowly just sort of knocking this on the head, and knocking them on the head indeed as well. We've had one person die there. That's a dead from an overdose, of all things. And that's in the high-risk area. Of all of the places that it's not kicking off at, it's a high-risk area that is not bothered with it. And that's, I think, because they have suppression. They have a suppression effect, so that's probably why. So we're going to order them in and around these different places here. We'll probably find a couple of people in the holding cell and a couple of people around here. Although it just actually seems to be around the front, to be honest. So there'll probably be a couple just like hiding around the back, so we'll have to split these up. Oh, there's some down there. There we are. We can see them now. There we are. We've sent some back over as well. I'm going to max speed out now because we're sort of near the end of this one here. There's some more deaths there right around the back. Oh, okay. Right. That's a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be. These ones are really not wanting to stop that. And there we go. We've now sorted it. Okay. So, we've just received a bunch load of prisoners, which is not the ideal time to receive them, but anyway, we'll just close the max sec out and we'll just say filter capacity, and we'll leave it there. We've just received several prisoners, most of them being of the high-risk variety, so it means we're going to have to sort through them now. As you can see, there's still a little bit of fighting going there, but nothing that's classed as an official riot. I'm going to go over to staff here and to armed guards, and we're going to hire 2 more armed guards. We're going to hire 2 more dog handlers, and we've got 80 guards. Do we want to get some more? I think we'll go up to 90 guards, which is, yes, well overdoing it, but well, nothing exceeds like excess. Let's go for also some cooks. I think we'll hire 2 more, although I don't think it's going to much matter. Oh, insufficient funds actually, so I don't have the funds for that. What I'll do is I'll get rid of these riot police. I don't think we need those anymore. We'll get rid of all of those, and we can see we now have a lot of intake there. So we'll go into intelligence and into performance. We can see we've got a lot of traits. Some of them could be a problem, but having a quick look around, can't see any like ex-law enforcement or snitch. You can see there's a lot of question marks on these, but that's just par for the course. In terms of gangs, we do have a couple of blue gang members here, but no leaders and no green, and just 1 red there. So we're down to 16 red, 3 green, 3 blue. So there we are. There we are. So this place here is, I believe, technically up and running now. We could get people here. We've got patrols going there. What's this? This is saying that someone is not able to be escorted to its cell. I don't know why that is. I'm just having a quick look. Unless there's one bit that I haven't placed, or like remove a tunnel. No, I believe all the tunnels have been removed, but we'll just double check across there. Yeah, all the tunnels have been removed, so we just have to see what occurs. So we need to... Oh, we've actually found a tunnel there as well. Just after I managed to went for remove tunnels anyway in the first place. So there's a lot of keys on the floor there. There was a lot of keys last episode as well, but of a different variety. I'm going to prioritise the removal of that tunnel there, and also I'll place some concrete floor once I've sorted this one out, although it's taken quite some time. It's currently lock up, so we've got a lot of stuff to deal with there. We also have a lot of people, plus 62 awaiting solitary. That's crazy. Let's just go over to this fella and we'll just say recruit. They're currently doing the general education general education qualification, I was going to say course, and it's a sort of medium chance of success, about mid-ground there. So we've got a couple of potential informants in here, so I'm just going to, again, recruit all these. I just want them out. I just want to move them out, that's all. We've probably got the same in and around here. That person is actually starving, which is a trait I can't remember seeing before. You see that says starving there? What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to our... where will it be? Is it programs? No. Policy. Policy. And I'm going to increase our quantity to medium. We normally had it medium for a long time. And we had 2 eats a day. But because we had 2 eats a day and it seemed to be sufficient, we put it on low. And that seemed to work out fairly well. In fact, if we look at needs, oh no, there is a critical food need. So yeah, I think that's probably to do with the distribution settings. Let me just have a quick look at that. If we go over to food distribution, we can see that that's supplying all those, which is fine. That shouldn't... Oh, that is being supplied by that, is it? That's not a problem. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And that's fine. All of those are perfectly acceptable. So I don't know why there's a food need. Is it a lack of... Is it a lack of cooks? It could be a lack of cooks. We got 14. So, across... to be fair, across 5 kitchens, that's not enough. But you only have a couple there and a couple at the top, so it shouldn't be a big problem. It should have been okay, but... You know what? For the time being, we'll leave it on as medium quantity and medium variety, and hopefully that will reduce some of those needs. It looks like there's 2 people actually locked in that solitary area. Interesting. A couple of potential CIs here again. Recruit informants. And recruit informants. There we go. Okay. So, we have the option now, if we really wanted to, of moving the gang members. So move that gang member and the leader, the lieutenant. I can't find him. And moving them over there will mean that they can't meet up with their gangs, which means they can't issue orders. I think that's what we're probably going to go ahead and do, but let's just double check our intake here. I'm still looking at this death row stuff, and we're still not getting any, which is a bit of a problem. But we'll have to see how that one pans out. We're just going to go over to connections here because I know there's a couple of connections that I haven't done. So we've entered lag mode and we'll go and we'll set up these ones. And, oh no, they are actually set. So why are those doors not being operated? They are definitely connected and the lights are flashing like a... Good. Why? I'm guessing it's just overloaded. We probably need another door control system. I don't think we're going to put more in there. Oh, there's phones in there that I don't believe I've connected up either. Let me double check. No, the phone taps are not on those. But phone taps are on there. There's some more violence. Let me go for the phone taps here. So it's going to be the bottom one, which will then connect up to this one. And there we go. That's fine. Go down to here and we've got... Andrew EAC or Wilson OD'd. Even though there are 4 doctors there and we have 90 guards, none of them, to be fair, are free. Well, that's good. You think that would be prioritised? There's also people getting put in solitary like twice, which is a bit of a problem. It does seem to be that the more we play, the more issues we're experiencing. Now that the game's owned by Paradox, maybe we'll have a bit of a renewed bug squash. That would be nice. If you weren't aware, Paradox have recently bought Prison Architect, and I think have preliminary ideas of making other Architect games. So yeah, we'll see what they do. It's Paradox, so probably in good hands. I mean, we'll probably see some Portrait DLC at some point, but... you know, just par for the course, really. Anyway, that infirmary office in the infirmary is not completed, and we should probably do so. But quite frankly, with the money that we don't have, I'm not really too bothered. So we've got 3 minimum security, 1 normal security. In terms of our prisoners, you can see we've got 50 maximum and a total capacity of 55. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move, as a test... 2 prisoners, Ashby there, and Bird. So Ashby and Bird. So Ashby, you are now a Supermax prisoner, and Bird, you are also of the Supermax variety. Because what I want to do is see if these prisoners are up here, will that have a positive effect down here? As in, will the gangs not be ordered? Now, as far as I'm aware, the second in command issues the orders and the leader doesn't get their hands dirty. That's the point. Even though Ashby, to be fair, does get their hands dirty several times. But the idea is that they issue the orders to the soldiers and then they do the work. So taking up common rooms, starting fights, hits, that sort of thing. With those removed, with that leadership removed, even if it's just up here, will that have the effect that we're looking for, which is that we don't see any orders being given and therefore we won't have as many fights? I'm hoping that is the case, but I need Ashby to be shifted over first, and that's a problem because, as you can see there, all of the available cells are too high quality for this prisoner. So these cells here are too high a quality for them. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to make their own cell just for them. And it's we're going to dismantle the shower head and and the drain, because that should then be, yes, so you can see, oh no, it's still not happening. No, there we go, and now they're being escorted. So that should be a grade of 3 now rather than a 4. Let me just double check that, and that is correct. So it is grade 3, and the occupant, Ashby, is entitled to a grade 4. What that means, they're entitled to a grade 1, and it's a grade 3. So if it's grade 4 or above, they can't be moved there. That is a slight issue, because it means we do have some of these areas that we just can't sort out, and I'm going to dismantle those there. That's the problem we had previously. Oh, there's a fight straight away. That's dead ex-law enforcement and snitch. I either missed that or it was one of the traits I wasn't aware of. So anyway, in terms of intake, it's really, yeah, the daily cash flow, it's really reduced. That's predominantly because of the meals. We've just put the meals down to a medium quantity and a medium variety. This thing says 12 a day, but if we put quantity down to low, that's halving the price. So that's really, really good. So it's 1,368 per day, as opposed to 2,736 per day. I'm going to put that back down to... Actually, I'm not going to put it down to anything, because we don't really need the extra cash. Also, because of the extra guards that we've hired, we've also got a problem there. What I'm going to do is go to staff and to cooks, because I didn't hire any. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4... and I can't hire the other 2 that I wanted, which is a shame. Just going to go over to informants here. We can see we do have a snitch and ex-law enforcement, so we will move those to protective custody. Oh, that was actually the one that was killed. My mistake. At least it'll look good when it gets back to there. Oh no, we're doing everything possible as we put a uniform on a dead inmate. That's cooking the books if ever it was a. So you can see Ashby here is now in their cell. Now this was a really a big point of contention. If we go over to our regime, you can see we've got normal, medium, minimum, normal, and maximum, and then over to protective and supermax. And they all have the exact same regime. We can alter this regime if we wanted to, so we can have, say, for example, this setup, so it's almost always, I don't know, lock-in, maybe? We could have lock-up. We could have that. But I don't want to. I want them to wander around. I don't see any great problem in that occurring. We don't have anybody assigned to laundry. I don't think it's really going to matter. I'll say prison labour and I'll max it out. Not that I think it's ever going to be used, but we'll see. And for whatever reason, there's a little section there that's always been... I don't know why that there is classed as a separate room, but it is correctly assigned. So that's fine. That's fine. And this is definitely death row. It is definitely death row. Speaking of death row, we do have this in here as well. And the chief is calling. Dandy. So we've just discovered that one of the teachers we bring in for the inmates classes have been smuggling huge amounts of contraband. They've been fired, but the damage has been done. So there's a lot of contraband, which doesn't really concern me at the moment, because I'm going to do a full shakedown tonight anyway. What does concern me is that there's no lights in here, and we don't have enough money for light bulbs. That is a bit of an issue. So I'll wait until we've got some money. We can see we've got some money for imports there, from shop intake, and also some ODs, which looks like it's been solved anyway, although they are trying to go through a wall, which is quite improbable. So there's an early release there. Oh no, we do have lights in here. I thought we had lights in there. It's just we can't see anything because there's no line of sight there. It'd be nice to have some like different coloured flooring around here, but I don't know what I could use. Perhaps marble? Perhaps a marble floor? I'll probably just keep it as this open area, although maybe have like a mosaic in the centre will be a bit different. There we go. Again, we don't need it, we can do it. There we are. So it looks like most of the prison is back to normal and back to reality, at least we hope. Gangs, just double checking, so we definitely only have gangs there and there. These are wandering back and forward. I was was going to keep an eye on them to see what they do. You can see they're currently just sitting in their cells, which is interesting because they're not doing anything other than that, even though it's work/free time. So they could have happily went to the common room. They can't issue any orders to their gang members, so the gang members are also, by the look of it, mainly just sitting in their cells. Yeah, all the gang members are just sitting in their cells. So we'll keep an eye on Bird to see if Bird, looks like Bird was using the toilet and reading a letter there. I'll see if Bird heads off to try and issue orders, although it would have probably already happened by now. Okay. Looks like they're getting mail as well. Ashby and Bird there. See, this might... now we're out to eat time. And are those not opening? That cell door didn't open, whereas the other ones, that one did. It's very strange. Anyway, you can see it's now eat time. So Bird's eating a bit of bacon. Sorry, Ashby's eating a bit of bacon. Bird's going to head over, grab a tray of whatever those two are, and they're having a little natter. Probably orders getting issued there. But now Bird won't be able to relay those orders anywhere. Back to free time. They're just going to go back. That might have resolved the whole issue with the gangs taking hits on things. We could then, if we wanted to, start to evict here. I'm going to order the eviction. It will cause some... It will vex them. There will be a little bit of... oh, there you go. It's been taken over straight away. Yeah, it will cause a bit of upset and anguish, but not too much by the look of it. And we haven't got any recruitments as well, so interesting. Right, so it is currently sleep time. We're going to do a shakedown. I expect to find a lot of stuff, so if we go over to our... it is in here. Last 24 hours. See, we've got a couple of SIGs, we've got mobile phones, as always, loads of ropes, and a club there. Anyway, so a lot of this stuff here is just getting found. We've got, you can see, a fairly decent supply for tools. It looks like weapons, narcotics, and luxuries. Fairly middle ground at the moment. There's also very high demand for weapons, tools, and narcotics, but not so much for luxuries. But you can see the price is quite high for most things, which it tends to be in gang prisons. I mean, we're running this close to the highest difficulty possible without going into mutators, you understand. So we've got events and we've got gangs and we've got all prisoner types in here as well as dormitories and all of that sort of thing on. The only thing we could have done to make it a bit more difficult was to add water, which would add in an element of an unknown element when it comes to building, which we didn't want. So not necessarily more difficulty, just more annoying. And we could have put weather on, but again, I've said a couple of times before, I'm not too keen on the weather stuff. I like electric radiators, they're good, but the other stuff is it can be a nightmare. But that would have added a little bit extra to it. And maybe the next one we make would include that one. We could also have gone for a female prison as well, and that would also be a bit more difficult because you have to cater for mothers and babies and things like that as well. So that's another element to factor in. And then you've got the mutators, which is just things like, other than things like big head mode and such. Look at that, 72 jail keys. A lot of jail keys, yeah, a lot of jail keys. Yeah, so just things like big head mode is just visual stuff, but also extra traits, learning so they can learn traits of other people. All prisoners are legendary modifier. I think that's a mutator. I think it is, and that would just be absolutely insane. Anyway, we're going to turn off the shakedown there because we pretty much finished it. We didn't find any escape tunnels, and I think that's about it. So we're going to leave it there. Intake is still run for death row, but not receiving anything as of yet. I don't know if we will, because it's... Let's have a quick look. That doesn't say, it just says intake categories. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. We could receive some maximum security prisoners if we wanted to. So maybe we'll do that next episode. But it looks like the whole sort of moving the leaders around here, that's sort of worked out, which is really, really good. Anyway, we'll see how we get on next episode. We are pretty much done for building. We do need to put some walls around the outside. We do need to put some flooring there. And we need to put some sniper towers in. I say need to. We could put some sniper towers in. But we've got to this point without it. So I don't know if we are necessarily going to go for that one. But we'll finish off all the little bit extras and such and see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and generic partings.